Today on Investigate TV Plus, fire and failure.
It's getting harder and harder for them to see us. We're gonna have to stand out here and see.
Construction workers trapped in a burning building broadcast a desperate plea.
The last image I have of him was him basically begging for his life in the building.
We investigate the massive construction fire that took the lives of 2 men and uncover the safety failures that prevented their rescue.
Plus, hope and faith.
Every single day, I had to watch my daughter, and I had to find out the way to stop this disease.
A single father fights to help his little girl as she slowly slips away from a devastating disease. We explore the rare genetic condition robbing her of time and the breakthrough treatment that comes with a multi-million-dollar price tag.
And a mom seeks conversation and connection on a college campus.
It's really life-giving to sit here and be here with them.
In-depth stories that inform and inspire. You're watching Investigate TV Plus. Hot flames, suffocating smoke, and no way out. In May 2023, a massive construction fire killed 2 workers in Charlotte, North Carolina. And our investigation found safety failures at the site left them trapped inside as flames consumed the building. I'm T. Chappelle.
And I'm Lee Zurich. That fire in Charlotte was just one of more than 4,000 construction fires that take place any given year. On average, there are 60 injuries and 5 deaths every year. Fire safety experts say all too often these construction fires are preventable. But when contractors fail to prepare, it puts an entire community in danger.
Investigative reporter David Hodges exposes a chain reaction of mistakes at the construction site that led to 2 deaths.
Charlotte Fire Department, what's the address of your emergency?
You can see how heavy this smoke
Charlotte Fire Department, what's the address of your emergency?
Charlotte Fire Department, what's the address of your emergency? Charlotte Fire Department, what is the address of your emergency?
I just got a public safety alert.
Charlotte Fire Department.
Do not call 911 unless you have an emergency.
Charlotte Fire Department, what is the address of your emergency?
It's at South Park Mall in Charlotte. I see a huge fire, black smoke.
Ma'am, we are on scene with a 4-alarm fire there.
Hey, we need to work on getting ladder 2 out.
Hundreds of videos, pictures, and records reviewed, analyzed, and deconstructed by our investigators. Piece them together and they tell the story of the South Park construction fire. What happened second by second, what went wrong, and what led to the deaths of Reuben Holmes and DeMonte Sherrill.
Building on fire, and I can't get out.
Firefighters could not reach them.
It's getting harder and harder for them to see us. We're gonna have to stand out here and see.
So Sherrill started broadcasting his calls for help on Facebook Live. Sherrill's live stream gave us a glimpse of the terror fire safety officials have been sounding the alarm on for years.
Saddens me, it disappoints me.
2 leading experts, Raymond Obraki and Joseph Cervantes, sat down with me to analyze what happened during the fire.
It is unfathomable.
And what failed to happen that could have made a difference. This TikTok video taken by a construction worker shows a spray foam insulation trailer engulfed in flames. Investigators confirmed this is where the deadly blaze started.
Yes, sir. It's a trailer that has some equipment on it. We've sprayed fire extinguishers, but it continues to burn, sir.
The flames were unstoppable by the time fire investigators say it was discovered at 8:55.
Anytime you have a running piece of equipment that's fuel fired, it has to be attended to, and it wasn't attended to by the construction site.
Sherrill and Holmes were on the south side of the 6th floor, directly above the trailer. They were nearly a football field length away from the only staircase in the building.
And believe it or not, that's all the code requires. And I think that's inadequate. It's probably one of the reasons the 2 construction workers couldn't get out.
Records show the first call to 911 came more than 7 minutes after the fire was discovered by the job site superintendent.
We got a fire.
And it is 9:02 before 911 is called. What's your reaction?
Too long. 7 minutes is way too long.
Absolutely, it's too long. I mean, these buildings can be fully involved within 10 minutes. The time was squandered.
We're evacuating the building.
In fact, the video shows the calls for evacuation didn't start until the end of the first 911 call.
We ran every floor yelling, fire, fire, fire.
In terms of an evacuation plan, is that adequate?
No.
Nobody's running. Nobody's acting with a sense of urgency.
There's so much wasted time here that it's really sad.
You see the first large group of workers start to evacuate nearly 10 minutes after the fire was first discovered.
The lack of urgency, I think, is just the most critical in this.
Builders are responsible for creating a culture of fire safety, and it really starts from the top down. The problem is that the builders aren't following the codes because they don't even know they exist.
You know, let's not lose sight of the fact that 2 human beings lost their lives.
The building on fire, I'm trapped inside, me and my man.
More than 500,000 people have watched DeMonte Sherrill's last moments.
It's getting harder and harder for them to see us.
Including his mom.
The last image I have of him was him basically begging for his life in the building. So that's really hard.
Onita Sherrill and Willie Mae Holmes wanted to share their pain so that they could tell you their sons didn't have to die.
Everything should have been checked out, that the people that was working up there had a way to get out from up there.
I mean, we have to take tests to get driver's license. So why not make sure all the safety precautions are there for things like this?
Videos of the fire are hard to watch for almost anyone.
Think about it.
Reuben Holmes' mom didn't need to watch a single second.
They tried to show it to me, but I didn't want to see it.
To know the safeguards her son and others relied on failed.
I think about how he must have felt, you know, in there, and he couldn't get out. He couldn't get out.
The families of Sherrill and Holmes have filed a wrongful death lawsuit against the general contractor, Mill Creek Residential Trust, and another subcontractor who was on site. Many of the allegations they make in that lawsuit mirror what we found in this investigation. While ultimately it's up to builders to ensure the code is being followed to make sure tragedies like this are prevented and don't happen, the experts I spoke to say it's also imperative that lawmakers and building code officials are updating the fire code in their states to the most recent standards, and that fire marshal offices across the country receive the proper support and structure so that when they decide to enforce the fire code, it's followed. Reporting in Charlotte, North Carolina, I'm David Hodges.
Since our investigation, the state of North Carolina started the process of updating its fire code to specifically address large wood frame buildings like the one that caught fire in Charlotte. One change requires an independent fire safety manager on site doing daily inspections. Another requires the site to turn in a fire prevention document to the local fire department that would outline items such as the number of exits and how to warn people if a fire breaks out. The updated codes are expected to be implemented by January 2025.
Still to come, shining a light on pain. Doctors turn patients on to an experimental new treatment to ease their agony without the use of powerful medication. But first,
I don't want to think some days I'm gonna lose her.
a single father holds on to hope as a rare genetic condition threatens his daughter's life. We take a look at the disorder and a revolutionary treatment that gives some patients a second chance. A kindergarten portrait to mark a joyful milestone. The smiling 5-year-old named Chloe Garcia loved running, playing with her friends, and learning new things from her teachers. But within months, those closest to Chloe watched helplessly as the once thriving kindergartner began a rapid and troubling decline, losing basic abilities that once came with ease.
Doctors would eventually diagnose Chloe with a rare genetic disorder called metachromatic leukodystrophy, or MLD. The Cleveland Clinic says MLD leads to damage to the white matter of the central nervous system. Leuko means white, and dystrophy means wasting away. Researchers estimate it affects 1 in every 10,000 people in the U.S.
Chloe's father is raising her alone, and despite her diagnosis, he hasn't given up. Reporter Marissa Sulik shows us the special bond between this father and daughter.
And then I'll just put the cups here.
It's graduation day at Glengarry Elementary School.
And what we're setting up here are some little photo booth spots.
And while some parents are excited to see their kindergartner in a cap and gown,
We try to match the dress.
David Garcia, a single father, is deeply worried for his daughter, Chloe.
Very hard, especially when you live by yourself. You don't have nobody to talk. You know how you have to do everything on your own.
The glasses on Chloe's face are thick and help with rapid vision loss. And to get around, Chloe must use this walker.
It's really clear that, by this time next year, she's probably not going to be able to walk independently, at least for long periods of time.
Tara Coogan is Chloe's kindergarten teacher. Chloe came to her classroom back in August 2023 when she snapped this photo. A typical 5-year-old girl who could walk, read, and spell with ease.
In November, it just started really changing. Like, she was bent over at the waist. She couldn't open her backpack by herself, something that she was doing by herself like the week before.
The first time when they told me this, I said, it's not possible that happened to me.
Chloe was diagnosed with metachromatic leukodystrophy. It's a rare genetic disorder that affects the brain, nervous system, and takes away motor skills.
It's no cure for this, only treatment.
I really feel for this family and for any family who's going through something like this.
Dr. Thomas Cassini at Vanderbilt University Medical Center works with patients diagnosed with leukodystrophy. He says it's a fatal disease.
Every single day, I had to watch my daughter, and I had to find out the way to stop this disease.
Carrie, are you ready?
That's why this moment means everything for him. To see his daughter not only wear this blue gown,
the front, looking where they say cheese,
but take this photo with her standing beside him.
Her mobility is just declining rapidly, so even if she's at her 5th grade graduation, I don't think that it will be as mobile as she is now.
While she might look different, David won't take them for granted.
My baby, I love her so much. I don't want to think someday I'm gonna lose her. No. She's everything to me.
There is no cure for leukodystrophy, and treatment typically focuses on supportive care and symptom management. In March of 2024, the FDA approved a new gene therapy for early onset forms of the disease, but it's not for children who are symptomatic. It carries a wholesale price of more than $4.2 million, making it the world's most expensive medicine. In Nashville, I'm Marissa Sulek.
Eat your vegetables. Remember the golden rule. Any of this sound familiar? It may be some of the advice you got when you were younger. What was the best advice that you received?
My mom used to, it's not food related, but my mom used to always say, treat others like you want to be treated.
The golden rule.
Exactly. Great advice.
Yeah, and keep it simple.
Yeah, there you go.
I
like that.
Yeah.
I like that very much. All right, still to come, we introduce you to a woman who's offering an ear and free motherly advice on a college campus. And up next, a potential way to manage debilitating conditions without taking powerful drugs. We take a look at the research flipping the switch on the use of light to help control pain.
If I was going to be able to work on getting this area right here to turn on, then we were going to be able to get Amber to start moving her arms.
Whether it's stubbing your toe or burning your tongue on a hot drink, pain is pain.
Yeah, for someone who suffers from chronic pain like a migraine, it can affect all aspects of their life and interfere with work, friends, and even family. Research published by the CDC found more than 50 million adults experience chronic pain, and another 17 million have high-impact chronic pain or pain that's limited their work or daily activities in the past 3 months. When intense intense pain occurs, people may seek relief from medications that could come with unwanted side effects or possibly lead to addiction.
Now doctors are looking at an alternative to help ease the discomfort without the health risk. We check out a bright idea and the many shades of light therapy.
I truly feel had I not came here to see Dr. Kyle, that I wouldn't have gotten my life back.
Amber Trahan can speak now, but in March of 2022, she lost her voice and nearly her life.
All I could say was, Jacob, something's wrong. No, I need you to come now.
The entire left side of her body went numb and she collapsed. Amber had suffered a major stroke at the age of 31, leaving her in a wheelchair. This was Amber shortly after her stroke.
I can't get around by myself. I can't drive. I can't work anymore.
After a few weeks of traditional therapy with little change, Amber turned to Louisiana chiropractor Dr. Kyle Daigle, who specializes in treating patients with traumatic brain and spinal cord injuries. He started Amber on red light therapy in hopes of getting her out of a dark place.
We were lasering her neck to try to get blood flow into these areas of the brain.
Red light therapy has become a therapeutic alternative for traumatic brain injury and stroke. According to research published by the National Library of Medicine, red or near-infrared light can be used to stimulate healing. At Duke University School of Medicine in North Carolina, pain relief without the need of opioids is something researchers are shining a light on.
We looked at green light, at blue light.
Dr. Padma Galore is a professor of anesthesiology at Duke. She says opioids have been a mainstay in the treatment of chronic and acute pain in the United States. But that treatment has led to a societal side effect, with the CDC reporting nearly 107,000 drug overdose deaths involving opioids in 2021. 10 patients wore blue eyeglasses, 12 wore clear, and the rest wore green eyeglasses.
When we initially started, just how, based on how much people like me and many others find blue water very soothing, that it would likely have some effect.
The results enlightened her.
Green light came way ahead in being able to help patients who have chronic pain reduce their need for other medications.
Research conducted at the University of Arizona echoes Dr. Galore's study. Dr. Mohab Ibrahim, a pain management physician and researcher, exposed both fibromyalgia and migraine patients to green light.
Both fibromyalgia and migraine patients got better. Their quality of life improved, their sleep improved, their depression improved, their anxiety decreased.
Dr. Galore adds the type of lens also makes a difference.
All green glasses are not made equally. You may get lucky and you may get the right frequency, but for the most part, you do really need this to be prescribed and specifically manufactured for you.
For Amber, red was her color. Dr. Daigle focused Amber's red light therapy on the spots he felt needed attention. After one treatment, she could move her foot, and more than a year later, she says she has her life back.
It was the only hope that I needed, to know that this was gonna work.
Dr. Galore plans larger studies to assess green light exposure on different chronic pain conditions. She adds most of the green glasses patients in her study did not want to give the glasses back.
Up next, we go back to campus to meet a woman dishing out decades of motherly advice.
Having someone else to talk to, it's nice.
Whether you were raised by your mom, grandma, or another fierce woman, you probably received your fair share of advice growing up.
Yeah, on the campus of LSU, one mother has become a second mom to some students, offering up decades of wisdom.
Photojournalist Rick Porche introduces us to a mom who has an ear to listen, a shoulder to cry on, and advice on just about anything.
On LSU's Free Speech Alley.
Wish I had worn my sweatshirt today.
Mixed in with the music and the information tables, you'll find her.
I'm Dale.
Looking for conversation.
Hi, Chris. It's good to meet you.
And connection.
I just love students, and I don't want to die old. I want to die young.
The pitch is simple.
I've had a bunch of them laugh and others say, oh, what a great idea.
Ask a mom.
A lot of conversation about relationships.
And anything goes.
But I've had a number of kids come and say they feel really pressured to have a major, or they're really unhappy with their major, or they want to give up school, or should they give up school?
2 years ago, Dale Edwards decided to take what she had learned through 70 years of life's hard knocks.
I had a rough childhood and had to go through some counseling to negotiate adulthood without making a mess everywhere I went.
And share it with anyone who wanted to sit and talk.
It depends on how well-adjusted you are with your creativity.
They have only like a few freshmen. That's only
Junior Morgan Guidry found Dale in January. Now they visit every week.
I mean, it's just really nice having another person to talk to on campus. I mean, I only talk to people my age on campus, and other than that, I talk to my parents. So having someone else to talk to, I mean, it's nice.
Closure you need to tell her to go to hell, or closure you need to tell her you love her, or closure you need to tell her you forgive her.
Through these conversations, Dale says she's learned something important about our kids.
They want to be taken seriously, and you have to be able to, you have to take apart what you've got invested in your value that you're judging with. Stand back and take them seriously.
And she's got a message for parents. Stop worrying so much. You're doing a good job.
It's really life-giving to sit here and be here with them. I've had 2 different students come up and say, are you cold? Can I get you something to eat? Yeah, I mean, these are not monsters. These are kids with questions and that are trying to make the best of their life.
It's a lesson only a mom could teach.
I want to stay friends.
And that's it for us here on Investigate TV Plus. I'm Leezer.
And I'm Tisha Powell. Thanks for watching.
On the next Investigate TV Plus, state agencies whose sole mission is to protect children are failing at their job.
Since she's been in the custody of the state, how many times has she run away? 5.
We investigate the concerning number of children running away from state care and the lack of resources contributing to the crisis.